So in this video, I want to explain why at this point I've sort of accepted the fact that I'm probably going to be skipping, at least for now, Mega Evolution entirely and just focusing on the next set, Phantasmal Flames. There is a lot of hype with Mega Evolution. There is, and for a good reason. It's a new era, and the Pokemon market's really strong, and people are excited about this new era, the Megas, and it just is a recipe for there to be a lot of demand. And you can see prices are extremely high. But as an investor at this price point, even what it was at previously, it was never really attractive to me. And even though it is possible this may go sky high, I, as an investor, am skipping out probably on the set, at least at where the prices are now. If they drop a lot in the future, maybe then I'll invest. But as for right now in the current prices, I am not investing. So I'll go through all the reasons why, I'm just skipping this set and I'd rather put my money into the next set, Phantasmal Flames. I've, sort of talked about these reasons previously, but I thought I just made a separate video talking about, why I'm actually just going to pretty much skip the set and why I'd rather allocate the money I would be putting into Mega Evolution into Phantasmal Flames. So the first reason, and I've talked about this every single time I bring up this set because it's a huge thing which I feel like some people are really blinded by, is that this is a base set. I'll keep saying it every single time just for maybe new people that haven't watched other videos where I talk about the set. Remember guys, this is a base set. In history, there has really not been any base set, at least in somewhat modern times in the last 10 to 15 years, where the base set was better than the rest of the sets in the era. You go back to literally every single era. Scarlet and Violet base, Sword and Shield base, Sun and Moon base, XY base, Black and White base. You can keep going back and back years and years. When have any of those base sets been better than any of the sets in the era? All those base sets I just mentioned, there were way better sets in the era. Now, could this be the anomaly? Could this be the one era where the base set is one of the top sets in the era? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but based on history, and we have extended history, I can even go further back than that, where the base sets just aren't the best sets. It's just a thing. Yes, do they still perform well in the future? Yeah, but the problem is the price point. I would be fine investing into this, base set. This is, in my opinion, the best modern base set we've ever had, pretty much by far. Scarlet and Violet's still pretty good, but I think Mega Evolution tops it. So I would like to invest into this base set, even though I've never invested into a base era booster box. I've never done that before, but I would be willing to invest in this one. But at its current price point, it is not attractive. And basing off what I just said, where just base sets in history don't really perform or as sought after as other sets in the era, why would I put my money here in Mega Evolution? To me, it just doesn't really make much sense. I know there's other factors with this set, why people are starting to invest or maybe are thinking about buying at this price point with, the percentage of, allocation stores are getting on release, how prices then are going to skyrocket. But I've talked about how, you're then, playing that game of, okay, are you trying to flip? Are you trying to make a quick play? You can do that. You can do well. But for me, the risk isn't worth it buying at this price point. Now, other than just, it being a base set and previous base sets just haven't, lived up to other sets in the eras, base sets, as it is, usually pull rates are easier, at least from what I've seen from Scarlet and Violet base. I'm not exactly sure about all the other base sets about pull rates, but at least from Scarlet and Violet, pull rates for base sets were usually, pretty easy. That's why there were no super expensive cards. If you look at the total set value for Scarlet and Violet base, it's pretty low. Usually, it just seems like base sets, the card values aren't extremely high. So just that's another reason. And, if the pull rates are easier in the set than we've seen previously, if the booster box is $300 and it's easy to pull cards, I don't see how. I mean, sealed could definitely still hold a premium if there is that, cut sort of allocation we're getting on this first release or whatever. But in that way, I don't see how, at least in the long term, how it's going to keep going up and up and up. Especially if, more gets open, car prices go down. Still, like I said, sealed could possibly go up still, because if there's less sealed, everyone's opened up stuff, it can keep going up. But I do feel like somewhat in the, for these new sets, card prices and the sealed is somewhat correlated. And if the players are pretty easy in the set, I do feel like, can this booster box at 300, if you're trying to invest into this, will in the near future, will it go to $400 or $500? To me, you're getting into the sort of realm of it's possible, but it's like, I don't know if I want to take that risk. So just previously, I've seen, base sets, cards usually aren't extremely expensive because players usually aren't that difficult. And therefore, is it justifiable, for a newly released set to be this expensive right now? And will it keep going up and up and up? To me, it's kind of hard to bet on that. And it's a little bit risky. So those are basically like the main reasons and the main concerns I have investing into Mega Evolution at this price point. Obviously, it's too expensive, and all the things surrounding this being a base set, it's not attractive to me to buy at this price point. You can still definitely, if you buy right now, currently at $300, will in maybe a month or two after the set is released, is it possible you can sell and make a small, minuscule profit? It's possible, but the amount of risk you're taking buying a booster box at $300 out the gate, I mean, guys, you got to think about this. This is more expensive than Destined Rivals got on pre-order. Pre-order Destined Rivals was at like 270, 260. It dropped to like 240, 250 on release. You're talking about a base set here, guys. I know there's a lot of demand. I know there's a cut allocation for release, but you're playing that game. Is it possible somehow, even in the whatever years this is in print, maybe they don't go under $300? Is that possible? Yes, but guys, I don't really care what really happens to Mega Evolution. It can go sky high, whatever, but at right now, at this current time, it doesn't seem smart for me to buy a $300 base booster box of Mega Evolution. So therefore, if I'm not able to buy this at 200, very low 200s or under, I'm just gonna skip it. I'd rather much rather hold on to cash. If anything, wait for the market to crash, to be the wait crowd, than spend $300 on a Mega Evolution booster box. I'd much rather do that. So I'm just not a fan of buying at this price point. Like I said, it's very possible in the short term you can still do well and make small minuscule profit if you try to flip. But in terms of investing in risk, it's not worth it for me. I'm probably just going to skip this set in total. Even if it never gets cheaper than this price point, I'm not going to buy into a base set. I'm moving my money in other places. So Mega Evolution enhanced boxes at 300 to me is a no-go, even though, yeah, I know some people are definitely investing at this price point. The enhanced boxes are at pretty much $350, which is crazy. People are putting more of a premium on the non-enhanced box. I truly do believe, even though I have no, I guess, good information or any back like, I don't know, just some special information. I don't have any background information or anything about, allocations of the regular booster box versus the enhanced one. But just based on pre-orders and stuff, I'm guessing, and just from Journeys Together, that the non-enhanced version is probably going to be more scarce than the enhanced version. If I had to take a guess, that's not confirmed information. That's just my guess. And looking at sales volume and the amount of supply, I'm just guessing that's how it is. But people are putting their bets already that this is going to be the more scarce one. Now, when you look at Mega Evolution as a set, so this is Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave. These are the two sets that are going to be in Mega Evolution. The set for a base set is very good, and just for a set in general, it's very good. I really like the Gardevoir. All these other cards, really nice for a base set, or just in any set. Like I said, Brave, Mega Brave looks really good. Like the artworks, I know this is a pretty good set, but it's just the price point, guys. Now, moving on from Mega Evolution, what am I probably going to be, more willing to spend a higher dollar amount on? Fantasmal Flames. Fantasmal Flames, we don't know much about it. We've seen a few card leaks. We don't know much, but we do know what it's going to be surrounded by. What is the set going to be about? So it's going to be released November 14th. So it's not even that, far away from, Mega Evolution. It's just a few months after. But there's a big thing in this set that I'd match if I was going to put my money and, buy something that's, more expensive. I'd put my money in here rather than Mega Evolution base set. This set is going to be based around Gengar, seemingly Diancie, and Charizard. What do we know about Gengar and Charizard? They're very popular. Very popular. So here's one of the cards we saw. that were revealed for Fantasmal Flames, as you can see here. This card, and there's been a few other cards that have been revealed, but this is the main one I want to get at here. Just this card alone makes me just forget about buying Mega Evolution at $300 a booster box. And if I was going to pay $250, $300, because at one point you could buy these Mega Evolution boxes for like $230 to $250. So if you bought then, it wouldn't be, as bad of a buy. But if I was going to even spend $300 on a booster box and try to play that game, if I was going to do that for any set, I would rather do it to this set where I know it has a Gengar. We don't know what it looks like yet, but based on this Charizard artwork, I'd much rather place my bets spending, overpaying, whatever you want to call it, on a booster box for Fantasmal Flames than, Mega Evolution. Now, is it possible maybe because Mega Evolution, the cut allocations, all this stuff, it skyrockets, and by the time, Fantasmal Flames is out, that booster box is $500, and if you paid $300, you could have still made money? It's possible, but like I said, you got to think about risk involved in it being a base set and all those sorts of things. I just don't think it's worth it. And if I'm going to invest and place my bets, I'd place my bets on a Gengar Charizard set. And just from this artwork alone, this is not any, Obsidian Flames, guys. It seemingly is going to be a very good set. So those are just my reasonings why I'm pretty much just saying, unless prices crash for Mega Evolution, I'm just going to skip the set. I don't care. I'm skipping it. I'm perfectly fine doing it. And I'd rather just allocate my money to Phantasmal Flames and overpay for that than Mega Evolution. So those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Or do you guys agree with me? Are you just skipping Mega Evolution because of the price point and you'd rather just overpay for Phantasmal Flames? Because that's my investing strategy. But hey, if you're investing in Mega Evolution, very possible in the short term you could be up and make money. But for me, the risk really isn't worth it. So that's all I want to talk about here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.